So let's talk about a couple of settings in the Zapit app of how to use it. Again, this app was written for us by our very own Brett Gibbs. We're super fortunate to have him and to have this app that we can use. I want to show you a couple things that you'll need to do and things that will help us as we go through this process. First thing is you're going to tap this top screen where it says Zapit, tap for settings. We're going to click that, and then we're going to go to Scan File Settings. Now you're going to basically do this every time that you begin doing a scan. So each section that you scan, you'll need to come up to this thing here and put in what the file, the sections that you're scanning is. So if you're scanning section number 15A, then you're going to put 15A in, okay? You can leave the date section, that's fine. Over here where it says time, this is pretty cool. Press the time button, and you can press it again until you get your text, and then I want you to put in your name. This way, if we have any questions about the upload file that was sent in, we can then know who did the scan and who to go ask questions to. Then we click Save. Now that's going to be saved. We go back, and then we'll go to Scan Barcodes. In most cases, the vast majority of cases, we're going to select the Assume One setting. So we'll select that, and at that point, your Bluetooth scanner should be linked to the phone. And as you scan barcodes or blaster labels, you're going to see the line count number increase for each time that you click one, and the scan history will show you the last few items you scanned. So you can kind of make sure that they're matching. Once all that's done, so you've done your complete scan count, you're going to go back and back again, and then you go to Upload Data, and then click on Upload Scan Data. Okay? After that, you're going to go and review the file, which will be in the next section up here in just a second. So let's talk about what it means when we do this inventory process. Now, obviously, doing the inventory, the whole point is that we want our inventory in AIMZ to be as accurate as possible. We would like for it to be 100% accurate. If our AIMZ inventory is accurate, then we can search in AIM and feel confident that if a location says they have something in stock or doesn't have something in stock, then we can rely on it being there. Also, the AIM inventory is what syncs to the website, so we can show if it's on the website that it's actually in the inventory. So it's really important that we get it right. Plus, we spend a lot of time trying to do it, and it's really frustrating when you spend all day and a super long, tiring day doing it, and at the end feel like maybe it's just not quite as accurate as it could be. So we're going to try to refine this process and make it better as we go along. So in this section of the video here, we're just going to talk to a couple things that we're going to try that I think will help make this process better. So you'll be given a device with a Bluetooth scanner. The device will have the app Zapit on there. Zapit is an app that our very own Brett Gibbs wrote for us. We're really fortunate to have that. And you're going to use that device to scan the barcodes of inventory. So you'll take the Bluetooth scanner, the Zapit app, and you'll go count your inventory. And then on the ticket where you're scanning, so you're going to go over to an area, there'll be a ticket on it. It'll have like number section 17, and you're going to scan that item, that section, and then whatever Zapit tells you is the total count is the number you write on the ticket for the total count for the first scan. Then you're going to review your scan file, and you're going to correct any errors, and then re-upload the scan again. And if everything's correct, that's when you'll initial that ticket. So let's kind of show what this looks like. So you've done your Zapit scan, you've saved it, you've uploaded it. That'll be either a separate video or a separate part of this video. Here's how you review it. So you'll go to Modules, Inventory, Physical Inventory, and then Review Physical Import File. And then this hopefully will default to your location. I'm going to use the hub because it's the most recent one that we just did. And you're going to go to the directory where it's at, which is the C directory. You're going to scroll down to Scanner. You're going to pick your location, which in this case is the hub. And in my case, I'm going to the hub count. So I'm looking for a file in particular, one that I know has some errors in it. And at this point, we can see it's kind of loaded in here, got my location and all that. We don't have to worry about the import method. And we click load. This is just going to be reviewing. Nothing you do here is actually going to save or change anything. And then what you want everything to look like this, where you've got This is the line here. This is the SKU, what the description is, and then how many you scanned. Almost always you're going to be just scanning one for each item, even when you have multiples like this. So you're just going to scroll down until you see something in red. Boom, here's things in red. So these 3 items here meant that this barcode, this SKU, wasn't recognized by AIMSI. So what you're going to do in that case is you got to go back to the area you scanned, and you got to find that item. What's 0316? Might be 03016. It could also just be 3016. That's something we're working on right now. But it could be either one, so you're going to find that item. So let's pretend, I'm just going to pretend that I know what this is. So we're going to go to Display Inventory. And I'm going to pretend like I found that item and I knew, oh, that's a 101M medium Jones read. It's not in this case. I'm just going to pretend that it is, okay? So I'll put this over here. So once I know for sure that that's what it is, I'm going to pull the item up, click Edit, and then we're going to go down here to Barcodes. It's the second tab here under SKUs. Go to Barcodes, and then you're going to add that SKU from before. Again, you're going to want to make sure that this is correct, and in this case it's not. I'm just using this just to show you. And then we save, and then we save. Now, when we reload this file, this is going to be really important. Notice that we're talking about lines 48, 49, and 50. This is really important because the SKU is getting ready to change. You reload the file, scroll back down to lines 48. Now you can see it properly matched it up with this 101M SKU, which is like the parent SKU. Now, when we import this file for real, this is just a review, but when we really import the file, AIMSI will match it up. So that's how we're going to fix each one of these. So hopefully in the stores, you'll find few of these red lines here. But when you do, we need to go back and fix them before we actually import the file. It'll make this process a lot faster, a lot more accurate, and a lot easier. Also points out why it's super important to have barcodes and SKUs correctly input into AIMSI. So that's how we're going to handle that portion. Once you've done all that, you're going to have to go back and do that for each one of these items. You got to go find what 001058 was, and you're going to go back over to Display Inventory, Edit, add the barcode. You're going to do that for each one of these things. Once you have all of them done, you'll reload this file, scan through the whole file, and if everything is black, everything matched up, there's nothing in red, you go back to the area you were scanning and go to the ticket, and you're going to put your initials on that ticket. That's going to basically mean that you've gone through it, you scanned it, you had the item count on there, the total number of items counted, like if it was 100 items. You reviewed the physical file in AIMSI, which is the section here. You made any corrections that were necessary. You kept reviewing and repeating that correction and review process until it was all corrected. And once you verified it was correct, you initial the ticket. Then whoever's doing the recounts will come up behind you at some point, and they'll see for that section, in this case this was section 33I, they're going to see that, all right, you said there was 100 items. They're just going to do a hand count just to make sure that there was actually 100 items. They won't know, they're not going to count by SKU or whatever. They're just going to say there should be a total of 100 items in this section. If that's correct, then they're going to put their initials on that ticket, and then they'll make a note, and they'll go over to the import guide, and they'll circle that so that whoever's importing the files to actually correct the inventory will know that that section has been scanned, has been reviewed, corrected, and then recounted, and everything matches, and then they will import it. Once all the sections have gone through this process, and we've imported all of the files, the inventory correction files into AIM, then we start running discrepancy reports. And there's reports that say, there's a report for the things that you didn't count. And the computer says you had this in stock, but you didn't actually count it. So we'll review those. You can also run a report for discrepancies. The computer thought you had 100 of these, but you only scanned 2, so we can review those. And so we'll run those reports and then try to find it. So that process should help to make this a lot more accurate when we do our inventories. And as we go through this, every time we do it, we're going to try to get better and better at doing this inventory process so that one day, and one day soon, we can all have a lot of faith in the quality of the inventory record in AIM. So once we have scanned our data and we've uploaded it, now we're back to scanning a new section. So we scanned it, we did the whole inventory correction in AIMSy, we went back to our original section on the floor, we initialed the tickets so that the recounter would know that's ready to be recounted. Now we're back to Zapit, we're back to scanning a new section. So just like before, we'll go back to Zapit settings, the scan file settings, and now we change the section that we're counting. Maybe now we're going to count section 15B. Don't need to change the date. Our text is already in there with our name, so we're good there. So we're saving that. Back, scanning barcodes, assuming one, and we're back to repeating the process.